My name is my true Nigerian name. My name is my true Nigerian name.
Okay, we about to start it. We had a couple of technical difficulties. You know how it go, man. We here in the building, man. CX1 DJs. We do things different. Podcasts, special edition. Hey, we at the end of the month, Black History Month. We got SHAH-day. New equipment in here. We got new stuff going in here. A shout out to everybody that's checking in. DJButterrock, I'll be your host, and I'm sorry for the delay, but we on now. Sorry for the delay, y'all. But we got new shit in here, new mics, new everything. Shout out to Shure microphones. That's all we use here at the CX1 DJs. We do things different podcasts. Microphones and equipment is brought to you by Shure. Shure mics, yes, baby. And we want to thank everybody for coming in tonight and understanding that we here live, baby. Is Instagram live? Let me see. Continue. Yeah, we here live. I gotta see what's going on with our Instagram connect, yo. Yes. Okay, we won't do Instagram tonight. Shout out to Instagram, but we're not gonna do y'all tonight, man. Let me see if we're gonna go live on Instagram. Hold on. See, Instagram, we have to stop the whole live. We're not doing that. Shout out to everybody on Instagram, but if you watch it on Instagram, you will not watch it on Instagram tonight, because we're not gonna stop the live to go fix the Instagram feed. So shout out to everybody that's checking in. We got a big show tonight. So let me go ahead and do my shout out. Shout out to everybody that support SHAH-day. And we have a lot of fans that support SHAH-day. And we only 22 minutes late, but we here. We had a couple of technical difficulties. But we here. Sometimes that happens when you're doing it big like I'm doing it. We doing it big in here. We doing it for real and big. Shout out to everybody that support DJButterrock. Let me fix my mic, man. Move right now. Now, you support me. Tonight's show is sponsored by Shure microphones. And we only use the best mics, Shure. And, man, I'm going to tell you something, man. SHAH-day is one of my favorite R&B artists. The group, for people don't know, SHAH-day is a group. It's not just the one artist. Let me move this over here. A lot of people think SHAH-day is just, put it right here, y'all. A lot of people think SHAH-day is just the lady. SHAH-day is the whole artist. You know what I'm talking about? Hold on, let me move this right here. Make sure I got this right. Yeah. SHAH-day is the whole artist, man. So it's not just a group. You got SHAH-day the artist, and you got SHAH-day the group. So the band name is SHAH-day, named after the female artist. A lot of people just didn't know that it's just her. It's not just her. Well, it's just her now because the band broke up. We're gonna get into that tonight, and we're not gonna shortchange a SHAH-day. We're not gonna shortchange SHAH-day tonight. Now, how many people was a SHAH-day fan? Y'all can leave it in the comments. If y'all just joining us now, just leave it in the comments. If you're a SHAH-day fan, leave it in the comments that you're a SHAH-day fan once you join in. And tonight's show is sponsored by Shure microphones. If you doing any podcasting, you're a DJ, you on the road, you doing anything, and you using any kind of microphones, make sure you use Shure mics. Shure is on. I know everybody got things to do, but I want to apologize for being late. All right, I really want to apologize for being late because I'm never late, but we have new engineer. Our regular engineer Skeletor is not here today, so we have a stand-in engineer that didn't know what the hell they was doing, but we on now. Shit, I said better late than never, right? So SHAH-day is a group, the name of the group, and they named the group after the female singer. So, before I get it to her, I want to send a couple of text messages out. And I want to say thanks to Bill Watson. Thanks to my PR, Julia Simmons. Thanks to the CX1 DJ First Lady, Punkerfoot, the Penny Girl, for promoting so hard and making sure. Let's before we start the interview and start the show tonight, Untold Stories of the legendary group and singer Sade. I want to get, I always start my shows by giving flowers to everybody. Punkerfoot been working so hard lately with Jones Graphics, our official sponsor for the We Do Things Different podcast, powered by the CX1 DJ Coalition LLC. We Do Things Different podcast LLC, trademark, all that incorporated. We want to give a big shout out to Punkerfoot, the Panty Girl, that been doing so much as a female artist and as a black woman, young black woman that's out here making a name for herself as a female artist, songwriter, producer. She's been doing a lot of stuff with the CX1 DJs. We Do Things Different podcasts. And I want to make sure on this Black History Day, the last day of February 28th, we give love and respect to Punkerfoot, the Panty Girl, for all the hard work she's been doing behind the scenes for the CX1 DJs and Jones Graphics and We Do Things Different podcasts. We have to give flowers due. And if anybody around here hating on Punkerfoot, there's something wrong with you. Now, let's get back to Sade. Now, a lot of people don't know Sade was, she was a clothing designer. She was not really a singer. That is something that was brought up once, she was doing clothes for somebody, and one of her clients said, "Hey, I like your voice." All right. So he complimented her on her voice. He like, you might make some money with this. She like, man, I don't know. I ain't really into the music thing. So she said she wasn't into the music thing. And the gentleman went off and he said, well, why don't you come to one of my shows? All right. It's a true story. And shout out to my man, Tony Touch from Epic Records, that gave me my full details. And shout out to Epic Records and all my people at Epic that provide me with all the stuff we have tonight. And we have a big show tonight. So keep in mind, we started a half an hour late. So we're going to be 22 minutes late. And sometime, we can't, I don't want to hit the live feed without everything being properly done. But, so let's get into it. So, she was a clothing designer. She designed clothes. And Sade is her name. Well, she's South African, so I can't say, I don't know how to pronounce her name, so I'm not going to mess it up so Epic Records to get on my ass. So we're not going to do that tonight. So shout out to everybody's checking in, and please like, share, and subscribe, and invite more people in. I know we had a lot of people that came at 8 o'clock, and we was not on at 8. They came back, and I want to apologize to everybody for being late. But one thing about CX1 DJs, keep checking in. When we doing a live show, stuff be messing up at the end, like really, literally, right when we about to go live, something happens. And I know that's because we doing so good, and that's the devil, that's the universe, and stopping us from going live. The earphones didn't work. The we couldn't hear the sound. It was crazy starting this show. It was crazy. And tonight's show is sponsored by Jones Graphics. You need any t-shirt, printing, anything done, go to jonesgraphics44.com. And also, our sponsor tonight is Shure Microphone. Shure Microphone. Anytime you want to do a podcast or you performing, Shure. That's what we're using tonight, Shure. I don't know if I can show y'all this, but you see the Shure. We got the green screen popping, so you hardly can see it, but we're going to make sure y'all see it before we get out of here. Shure Microphone is sponsoring today's show. That's why you hear it in HD clear. We clear. No more mics cutting off while we talking. Like, Shure is the best mic. If you're doing any kind of, I gotta show that. Okay, let me put it down, damn it. You doing any kind of podcasting, Shure Microphone. we're gonna get into it. So back to SHAH-day. So I grew up off of SHAH-day. All right, so beautiful artist. My mother used to play it when I was little. Who did not like SHAH-day? If you from the 80s and 90s, early 2000s, or the 60s, you are old school, or you're an 80s baby, or 90s baby, or 70s baby, and you grew up in the 80s, you could not say you never heard SHAH-day. SHAH-day was one of the best vocalists that was in a band. Back in them days, there was a lot of bands. So you have your vocals, your lead singer, and you have your band. But she was the vocalist of SHAH-day. So let's get into it when this band started. All right, I got my notes here from Epic Records. Shout out to Epic Records. So this show would not be possible without the details from Epic Records. All right, and shout out to all the A&Rs from Epic Records that worked on this project. All right, SHAH-day, the group is from London. Okay. All right, England, London. All right, so they were started in London, 1982. The band was started in 1982, and also their first album came out in 82, and the first album came out in 1986. SHAH-day was doing she was playing with it, like singing in certain bands. She was in another band before she got with the band SHAH-day. She was in another band. All right. So 1986, they dropped the first album, and they was playing with singles, Smooth Operator, Nothing Will Come Between Us, and a lot of other singles that Epic Records was putting out. So let me give y'all the full layout here. She was signed to Epic Records, also RCA. Like, her deals started with Epic Records first, and then they moved on to RCA, and then at the end of the lifespan of the group, they went on Sony Music Group. All right. So let's get more into the story, how she got into the band. So it started off her designing clothes. One of the gentlemen came into the store she was working in London, Italy, and said, "Hey man, she was singing." She said she was singing. This one of her close friends provided this information to us. She was singing in the store, and the guy like, "Yo man, you got a good voice. I think you should do it." She's like, "Man, I don't know about the music industry. I don't think I want to really mess with that." So she didn't want to mess with it. He's like, "No." He said, "No, I really think you should. I really think you should do it." What the? How this is moving around? Hold on, y'all. I don't know how that got there, and I had this here. Hold on, y'all. Hold on 1 minute. That's crazy. I had this right here. I just don't know how it. Okay, I see what happened. All right. Hold on, y'all. And shout out to everybody listening to us on iHeartMedia and Apple Music. It's also streaming on TikTok and X, formerly known as Twitter. So let me play the pictures real quick. Yeah, so when she started SHAH-day, she didn't want to do it. Like most of you rappers and singers that want to do this, you don't believe you could do it. She was one of the up and coming young ladies that was a clothing designer that really didn't believe in it. So a guy that didn't even know her was part of the band. He talked her into doing it. So the first record was Smooth Operator. So they wrote it. She wrote it. She actually sung it with her old group and an old band she was with. And it was good. They're like, yeah, you should do that. And the one of the other guys that was in the new band, title after her, said, "Nah, man, you should come. We'll name it after you." And because they didn't like the name of the band they already had. So no, we'll name it after you. Come and see how it goes. So they start doing a couple of open mics and a couple things like that. And it actually panned out right. And she started doing it. So in the industry, when you're doing this and you're a female, back in them days, it was very popular for a female to be a lead singer of a group. Anybody from the 70s, 60s, and the 80s know that you got to really be putting in work to be a lead singer of a group. So SHAH-day, all right? They named it after her because they had another name. They didn't like it. They didn't even provide me the damn name. So I ain't gonna. I got it, but they told me that that's irrelevant. We talk about the group. So they named it after her, SHAH-day, and in a couple of interviews we're gonna play tonight, she break down, where the name came from, and she from South Africa. And one thing I will say about SHAH-day, she never ever backed out of being mixed. She always was proud to say she's black. She's from South Africa. She never said she was white, even though she's mixed. She never backed out of that culture. When being black back in them days was not that popular. Lighter skin was more popular than darker skin. Being a light-skinned person in the music industry in the early and the late 80s would get you in the door than a dark-skinned person. But saying that you are black when you look white was not popular back in the 80s or the 70s. Shit, it ain't popular. Well, it's popular now, but back in them days. So before I get into when she got the record deal, I want to build you guys up to the point where SHAH-day is, where she is now, and what she's doing now. Yeah, so we're gonna go back to 1980, when she met the guy in the she was designing clothes, like I said. Very successful at it. Like, doing the music wasn't an option for her. She liked to write music, produce, play instruments and stuff like that. Well, she did that very good with the group. But far as in taking it seriously, she didn't want to take it seriously. All right. Do my research and talking to the head A&R that's still living. Thank God he's still living. Jesus. And his assistant from Epic Records. It was pretty much pulling teeth, like when they was trying to sign her. Signing the band was easy. But to get SHAH-day to commit to the contract with the band is something that at that time she didn't want to commit. She said, well, my husband, at the time she was married, we're going to get into that. My husband at the time did not, this is what SHAH-day said, did not want me to go on the road and be away from the family. So when you have a husband or a wife that's not really committed to your success, that could be a hindrance on your success. If your husband or wife is not really with it, how can you really get with it? So she like, yeah, my husband pretty much didn't want me to do it, so it pretty much hindered her for what she was doing. Yeah, hold on, you guys. I'm having a problem with my board here. Yeah, so that's what we had, man. So
My
yeah, we having typical difficulties, but we're not gonna shut the live down. We're gonna just keep doing what we're doing here. I don't know what is going on over here. I'm gonna have to talk to the engineer about this. Yeah, because I want to keep the pictures going while we doing this. Yeah, so her husband had a problem with her being in the group. Imagine yourself trying to move to the next level, and then you have a woman telling you that you cannot go to the next level. All right. So SHAH-day say, fuck you, nigga. Excuse my French. And she went on the road. She didn't sign with Epic at the time. You gotta understand, SHAH-day, she performed a year and a half before. That's why she met the group. Let me give you the right thing. So this is untold story. So we're gonna give y'all the truth for everything that we doing here. She met the group. She met the group in 81, and the first album came out in 86. So she really didn't just jump in it. And a lot of people just, if a record company come to them like, yeah, let's do this. A lot of people just jump into it. All right, without even researching. Yeah, so she met the group in 81. they signed the record contract in 82. The album did not come out, first album did not come out to 1986. So, album. She had singles before the album came out. Back in them days, dropping a single is way better than dropping an album. Now in 2026, dropping an album, then dropping the singles is how people do the music now. But you understand, back in the 80s, your single got to introduce that album. You cannot drop an album unless they got to know what the hell that single gonna do first. The label won't even put up the money for the budget. Back in them days, they didn't want to put up. They didn't want to put. I know what's going on, y'all. They didn't want to put up the money for the budget to do. They wouldn't put up the budget for the album to do unless the single did some numbers. Back in them days, it was physical copies. It was no streaming. It was no downloading. It was physical copies. Like you had to sell physical vinyl copies. Physical. And if you didn't do numbers, guess what? You don't have a record deal. And if you don't have a record deal, you can't feed your family. And you can't feed your family, then we have an issue, right? We have a straight issue. Like I have them right now. Hold on, y'all. Y'all got to excuse. If y'all watching this on YouTube, y'all got to excuse me. I'm moving something around. I found out what the problem was, and I'm definitely going to contact my engineer later about this. So the people that are listening on iHeartMedia and everybody else, you can't see what I'm doing, but if you on YouTube, you see it, and you can tell that we are live. Yeah. So keep in mind, you have to have a single to lead the next thing you got coming out. So Untold Stories, we give you the Untold Stories on the artists that we did our research on, and we had it approved by the labels and PRs and managers and all that stuff, and also the artists to do the story on them. So, but I'm also at an industry DJ. I've been DJing over 35 years, and I study SHAH-day. I study a lot of these artists that we do stories on. So I want to make sure you guys get educated on some stuff you didn't know. Yeah, so music industry wise, you can learn a lot from listening to the bands and the musicians from the 80s, the 90s, the 70s, because they bring out element of the business and element of how to present yourself to these record labels and the element of you don't settle for less. Not only Sade didn't settle for less. Prince didn't settle for less. Michael Jackson didn't settle for less. A lot of the artists, Whitney Houston, a lot of artists that was back in the day with the proper good lawyers and the business people behind them, you would know the ones that didn't have a good deal and the ones that did have a good deal, because they'll come out, this person owe me money. That label owe me money. This label owe me money. But you got to understand something. If you don't double check what you're signing and what you're getting into, you can't say a person owe you money when you didn't do your job as in to research and audit and check on the people that's behind your career. You have to double check everything that's going on dealing with you in this music industry. It's not the label job to tell you how to protect yourself. It's their job to get you. It's your job to be educated on how to do your business. So, moving on. So, they didn't sign a record they didn't sign a record deal until 86. Let me make sure I got my notes right. So I don't want to say the wrong thing here. Yeah, 1986, that's when the first album came out. Like I said, singles came out before 86. And I ain't gonna, we only here for an hour, even though we behind it a little bit. We just still here an hour. So I don't want to go over, sound like a broken record. So she got a bunch of singles out. You guys could research it on your own. That went platinum and gold. She's from the UK, London, Italy. Not too many people coming from the UK really made it across the borders to the United States like SHAH-day did. That group broke various records, sold millions and millions of records, bunch of number ones. So back in them days, you would stand out if you're doing numbers. So guess how much SHAH-day signed for his first album, 1986, $3 million record deal for a 10 album contract. Did you hear what I said? Epic Records offered the group, the band, SHAH-day, $3 million for 10 albums, which they signed that contract. It was a lot of certain conflict with Epic Records and the band back then, which we don't got time to get into that. That'd be on episode 2. This is episode 1 of Untold Stories of SHAH-day. We're going to have more episodes to break down the business, what happened. Why the band was on the road, SHAH-day. The husband, SHAH-day husband, the female lead singer of the group, that's what we're doing it on. I didn't want to put all the band members' pictures. I just want to put the lead singer here. But understand, SHAH-day was a band, not one person. She was named, they named the band after her, but a lot of people think SHAH-day is just SHAH-day, just one person. No, it's a whole band and collective that made the top hundreds of thousands of hits. Hundreds of thousands of records were sold. Millions of copies. So it's not just one person. It's like a person saying, hey, it was me, but you got a whole bunch of people behind you. And it was told to me exactly to make sure I made my viewers and anybody that's going to watch this video later on know that it's a collective, a band, not one person. Untold Stories. CX1 DJs. We do things different. Untold Stories of the band, SHAH-day. All right, so we're going to get more into that. So they go on tour. She was in France, and her husband called her cursing out over the phone. And, he was very, very aggressive, very abusive over the phone. And so when she got back to the house, he started beating on her. Imagine you at top of your game and you come home from a tour. And you come in the house and the person slap the hell out of you, knock your clothes, lock your shit out of your hand, beating your ass. You know what I'm saying? Just because he or she is not, in his case, it was a he. He's not comfortable with himself. He didn't want her to do it. He just wanted her to design clothes. He didn't want her to be on the road making tens of thousands of dollars. He just wanted her to be home with him. Some people ain't built for this industry. So let's get back to it. So he beat her up. She left. That's one time she left and went back on the road. And he constantly abused her, constantly beat on her. And there's one particular faithful night for his ass. She came in there. He slapped the hell out of her. She fell over the table, busted her shit on the table. She took that 45 and blew his fucking brains out. Yeah. The lead singer of the group, SHAH-day, killed her husband in self-defense. He was beating on her. Untold Stories of SHAH-day. So he killed her. No, excuse me. She killed him. Don't worry. She didn't go to jail. She self-defense, baby. She didn't do one day in jail. Shout out to the London court system. Because some people would have went to jail. And we talking about back in the day, she killed him. Back in the day, she smoked his ass. He's out of here. I don't think he ever coming back. He's gone. That nigga gone. He out of here, baby. He's out. He's polito, caleto, salato. He's gone. Never coming back. So she killed his ass, and then the group had a little hiatus. They went on pause for a little bit. Now, What do you do when you kill somebody you married? Then you say, I do, death do us part, and then you got to kill the person you love. Smooth operator. Smooth operator. Shit. True story, though. I ain't making this shit up. Shit. Hey, I've been knowing that happened, but a lot of people didn't know that happened. That happened. I was a little boy. I was little as hell. She blew his brain. Bow. You hit me, motherfucker. Bow. Nothing can come between us. That's what she said when she killed his ass. Bow. Nothing can come. Nothing can come between us. She's like, nothing's gonna come between her career and you whooping my ass, nigga. He's dead, y'all. Don't worry. He won't beat on pretty, sexy SHAH-day ever again. Damn, she's sexy. Look at them pictures. Damn. Woo! You gonna beat on that pretty girl, man. What's wrong with you, nigga? And this is an uncut show, too, so I don't want nobody getting offended. It's uncut. How you gonna beat? Take a look at her. What made this man think he gonna beat on SHAH-day? She said, motherfucker, not tonight. You would not put your motherfucking hands on me. And she killed. He's dead. He been dead. He been dead when I was a little boy. She she got the 45 and took his ass out of here. I don't want nobody getting offended. If somebody beating on my sister, she said, nah, bruh. My brother, nobody in my band, nobody in my record company is gonna go to jail for me. This is my ass whooping. These is my bullets. This is my gun. I'm gonna kill your motherfucking ass. And I'm still gonna do my career. And that's what happened with SHAH-day. SHAH-day killed that motherfucker for whooping her ass every day. Now, keep in mind, y'all, this is something that was been going on. She ain't just get beat up one time and just take the nigga out. Bow! She snapped. And she should. Shit. I don't think he gonna beat on her ass again. You want to hear some ill shit? This is a real story I'm about to tell you. I don't cap it over here. True story. Untold story of SHAH-day, CX1 DJs. We do things different podcasts. I'm gonna tell y'all something nobody knew that I know. I got the tea on it. Guess who paid for the funeral? SHAH-day paid for the funeral. She said, you know what, man? I killed your ass. Your family can't afford it. Let me put your ass in the dirt. In the dirt. She paid for the motherfucking funeral. Bow, nigga. And I'm going to pay for your burial. That's how you get the, hey. If my wife killed me, if I get married and she killed me, and you bury me, my family don't got to do it now, I appreciate it, because especially if I deserve to die, shit. Motherfucker, you beat my ass, I'm gonna kill you, and I'm gonna pay. Yeah, SHAH-day paid for the funeral. The whole band, she half of her money, she put them in the dirt. Excuse me, got him a damn tombstone. That motherfucker laid out lovely. She said, "Shit, I ain't going to jail. I'm also make you have a nice fucking burial, bitch." Anybody that hit on a female, I'm not gonna break that story down nightly. Fuck you. You hit on a queen. You hit on a pretty chocolate South African. Well, she not chocolate. Brown skin, light brown. Well, she ain't brown. God damn it. She's high yellow South African. And I love me some SHAH-day. She said, nobody gonna take this charge. I'm gonna kill this motherfucker and move on. All right, let's get off his ass. All right, so she smoked him. She took some time off. She buried his ass like she should. Why not? I don't know. I want to bury. If somebody whoop on my ass, I'm not paying for your burial, or your tombstone, or your suit to put your bitch ass in. I'm not paying for shit if you whoop my ass. Nothing can come. Nothing can come. Nothing can come between us. That's Shantae record, baby. I say SHAH-day, excuse me. Y'all gotta excuse me. I got a speech problem. Shit. I ain't fucking perfect. Shit. All right, so y'all see the pretty pictures of what my pictures keep stopping. Shout out to everybody, shout out to my engineer, shout out to everybody. Y'all can understand today we had typical difficulties. So work with me. If y'all watching this live on YouTube, work with me. And shout out to let me shout everybody out. Shout out to T-Cap. Shout out to DJ Money. Shout out to Troy Wallace. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Muscle Team Fuzz. I love that nigga from Patterson. Yo, hey, y'all go follow Muscle Team Fuzz. Every time I tag him or something, he always like it. That's my nigga. Shout out to all the DJs that promoted this event tonight. And shout out to everybody that came and I wasn't on here. I'm sorry we had technical difficulties, but we here now. We here now, baby. We here. We ain't going nowhere. So back then, let's talk more back about the group. Yeah, so SHAH-day, after that, she took a 2-year hiatus. She was gone for 2 years. She traveled the world. Guess where she came? Guess where she went, y'all? She went to America. She said, "Man, I killed this motherfucker in London." She went to America. So she moved out to LA on a dual citizenship. Know I'm saying that right? Dual citizenship. Damn, I said dual citizenship. She was on a dual, don't be laughing, y'all. She was on a dual citizenship, right? She stayed in LA for about a year. And she was still signed to Epic, but she guess who she ran into in LA? Untold Stories. Clive Davis. Y'all want to hear the story or the beautiful Queen Sade and Clive Davis? Y'all want me to tell you what happened when she met him? She met Clive Davis in 1991 in Los Angeles, California. You know what? You want to know what happened when they met? Not a goddamn thing. He brought her lunch, dinner. They was having lunch. He was congratulating her on what she was doing. And he like, yo, well, I see this Clive Davis talking. I see you with Epic Records. Why don't you come down to Arista? She said, no, Clyde. I'm gonna get these true story, untold story. She said, no, Clyde, I'm cool where I'm at. I'm just out here, you heard about I heard about your husband. I heard about the sorry situation you was in. I'm sorry. Once you come down to Arista Records, we have a home for you. We talk about 1991. Arista had Uptown Records back. That was the boutique label that was doing real good in the 90s with Heavy D and Puffy was starting to blow up. Father MC, all the motherfuckers. You and the band could come over. I'm gonna talk like Clyde, y'all. You and the band could come over here to Arista Records and you could do that same stuff you doing with Epic Records. You gotta understand something. Back in them days, all the record labels, their job was trying to steal the other talent from the other labels. They didn't want you. If you was a blockbuster artist that's selling records, they did not want you with the other label. It was like East Coast, West Coast shit. So if you doing numbers for another label, it's their job to try to get you to fuck off the other label. It's their job to remove your ass from that roster and put your ass on their roster. Okay? So back to Clyde. It was eating this. I'm gonna tell you what they had, because I got the tea, nigga. You think I'm doing this shit? I'm gonna do my research. I ain't gonna do a story on somebody without having the information. So they had so I got it from actually one of the persons that was there. He's 62 years old. And he said he was a teenager. I'm gonna read this shit the way it was emailed to me from the guy that was there with SHAH-day. All right. We sat at the table. We was in LA only for 2 weeks, and we was invited to go to dinner with Clive Davis, the CEO and founder of Arista Records. Ready? So the gentleman, he's the A&R for Epic Records. Well, he was an intern at the time. He was an A&R. Let's get this shit straight. He was an intern for Epic Records, and he was accompanying the beautiful lead singer from the band group SHAH-day. So they met at an elegant restaurant in downtown Los Angeles, California, on what's the I don't know. I want to fuck up the street. This is not alleged. This really happened. And they sat there. Clyde paid for the food, paid for the limo, paid for the everything. They was already living there, so they didn't have to pay for the hotel. Nothing. We ain't gonna throw. He paid for the hotel. That bullshit. So he paid for the dinner. All right. They sat at the table. They ordered. Listen to this shit: lobster, the best fine steak, the best red wine in the house. And he asked the, I gotta say it right, yo. He asked the lead singer of the band, Sade, the female, the one that's on the screen here. So how's everything going with the band? You've been, a touch with the music industry for a while. Keep in mind, she had a 10 album deal with Epic Records, so she wasn't going nowhere at that time. I think she only had 2 albums out and 6 singles, something like that. Like I said, I'm gonna recap. I like going back to give you guys the right proper education. You got to drop the singles before you drop an album back in them days. You cannot put an album out without your singles doing numbers. Because this is how the labels worked it back then. And anybody really in the industry like myself, the label will not finance the album unless your single's doing good. So anyway, back to the dinner in LA with Claude Davis. And keep in mind, I don't want you, if you just joining the live and you late, then you missed out. You pretty much don't know what the fuck I'm talking about because you missed the beginning of the live on YouTube. So walk with me. So Claude Davis was telling the beautiful queen, the head singer of SHAH-day, which her name is SHAH-day, that yeah, so how's it going with Epic? How's it going over there? She's like, oh, I'm all right. Well, she like, Clyde, I really don't want to talk business while we eating dinner. This is not the right set. This is strictly from the intern. I got the email from the intern. He was 17, 18 years old, he said, when he was meeting with them at the dinner. All right, she said, this came from the intern that was there, y'all. And he showed me pictures and all that, so I know he's not lying. Because they took pictures there. Well, I'm not authorized supposed to because I didn't get the clearance from Sade people to do that. So I won't do that out of respect for her. Yeah, we pretty much we had dinner. She pretty much said we had dinner. This ain't the setting to talk business. And I'm gonna tell you some real gangster shit. Sade said, the lead singer of the band Sade. Y'all like how I break that shit down. So y'all, we're not talking about the whole band because the band was still in London. They wasn't with her in California. She was after she smoked her husband. She was after she killed her husband in self-defense because he was beating her ass. So I want to break it down. When I say that, I understand the people that's watching what the hell happened. So she was in LA, clearing her mind, trying to see if she was going to move to the States or not. And she met up with Claude Davis, the owner, CEO, founder of Epic. Not Epic, of how the hell I'm gonna forget the name? Y'all know the label. I'll get back to that. I got a brain fart real quick. Arista Records, excuse me. So she signed Epic. Arista was trying to get her. She said, Clyde, this ain't the right. Let me get my Sade. I'm gonna get my Sade voice. Clyde, this is not the right setting to be talking about business. I appreciate that lovely dinner. Let's enjoy our meal. And if you want to talk further, because this was on a Saturday, I will have my attorneys contact you and we could go further or whatever you're trying to do. I'm open. This is Sade talking. I'm open to do any joint ventures or any collaborations of any artists that you have on your roster, but I'm not looking to break any agreements, anything I have going with Epic Records to come to Arista Records. Woo! You heard me? She did the gangster shit back in the 80s. She said, motherfucker, I'm not leaving. I'm going to break it down in nigga terms. Motherfucker, I'm not leaving Epic Records to come to no Arista Records. I ain't like that. I just killed my motherfucker. Nah, she ain't say that. But professionalism, you invited me to dinner because you like my music. You like my craft. You like my accolades. Why the fuck are you trying to get me to shit on the people that put me in a place to meet with you? See, Epic Records put her in the the avenue and the spotlight to be where she was at. So a lot of you rappers today in 2026, a lot of you fucking DJs, a lot of you PRs, a lot of you motherfuckers, you all shit on a nigga just to get to the top. Shame on a nigga that try to run game on a nigga. Choo choo popped out the trigger. So let me calm my ass down. So Sade, she didn't pull that fake bullshit. She said, I'm signed with Epic. They did me good. We got $3 million for 10 albums. The 10 albums is already fucking done. I got my bag. I'm selling records. We already made... Check this shit out, yo. A lot of you motherfuckers barely could sell. You barely could promote 2 damn albums. She signed a 10... Listen to me, yo. A 10-album deal back in 82. When her first album finally dropped, the whole 10 albums was already recorded, already submitted to Epic Records. True story. She made the money back. The $3 million was made back. The money for the videos, everything was recoupable off of one fucking album to pay for the whole $3 million she got. Now, y'all might say $3 million is good for 10 albums. That's bad in this day age. But $3 million back in 1982 was good for a young band that's coming out of London that nobody never fucking heard of. Now, if you come to me and say, yo, man, I'm gonna give you I'm gonna tell you right now, nigga. You say ButterRock, I got $3 million. We want 40 albums from Pocketfoot. I'm gonna say, let's get it. Nigga, I'll take $1 million, nigga, for 40 albums, nigga. I don't give a fuck, nigga. Nigga trying to get out the project. I'm bullshit. I don't live in the projects. But that's my men's site. I'll take shit. The way we doing music today, I could make 10 albums in one day in this motherfucker. You feel me? Shit. Anyway. Back in them days, $3 million for 10 albums was good. But if you speak to an artist that caliber now, like a I'll take Mary J. Blige to take it to y'all. Let me stop bullshitting. I think anybody this caliber would take $3 million for 10 albums, my nigga. You might say, okay, ButterRock, you know, being you doing the untold stories of SHAH-day, what was her points? All right, how much she was getting off each record sold? You know it all, big dog. What you gonna say, OJ? What you gonna say about it, OJ? I got the information. The group, collectively, the whole motherfucking group, not just the female lead singer, was getting $2 off of each record sold. Hope that answers anybody that's in the background. And I got that information strictly from Epic Records. We talking about the 80s, and you get $2 fucking off of each record sold. And this beautiful group sold way over 100 million records. So go in your motherfucking back room and where the hell you at and do your calculation. Well, ButterRock, they ain't no money. They got like 7 motherfuckers in the group. It don't matter. You bust that shit down. $2 of each record. And back then they were selling the albums for like $15, $16. A Duck's copy like $30. Back in the days, you get the posters with the album and all that fly shit. Man, they was making some money. Sade, when I play the video, she gonna tell you they was making money. Every time they renewed the contract, that was tens of millions of dollars. Now we gotta understand, she got $3 million in the beginning. Let me tell you, let me educate you people. Let me educate you people how this shit works. Because I don't think everybody know this music industry. That's the whole point of me doing and CX1 DJs doing the untold stories of the artists that we select, we want to do a story on. How we work, we contact the people, the record company, the PR, the publicists, the managers, anybody was a part of that artist. We contact the artists too. Sometimes these artists are retired or doing their own thing. Like reality, these artists don't own their masters anyway. And if they own their masters, they don't own their fucking story or the image or the liking of their story. So we contact the right people to get our information. And most of the labels is broken up. So you got everybody doing their podcast. Most of these A&Rs doing their podcast thing. They doing their freelance shit, independent record promoter shit. So everybody's out here in 2026. You can contact anybody if you know what the fuck you're doing. And I have a beautiful PR. Her name is Julia Simmons. They've been in the industry over 20 years. And she's from New York City and she know a lot of people. So shout out to my team. And I want to just understand this. I want to break some education down. Because everybody, DJs, UPS workers, Amazon workers, cats, dogs, everybody think they know the fucking industry. I be kicking Jews to people like, yo, this is what you need to do. Everybody, man, they have a deaf ear, and then when something go wrong, Butterrock told me, yeah, I told you a lot of shit. That's a lot of shit I'm gonna tell everybody now. Every untold story, I'm gonna give y'all some jewels. If you take it or not, it's on you. I've been in the music industry over 35 years. I know what I'm talking about. So let's get back into the group and the beautiful lead singer of SHAH-day. So, just how it works. If you sign a 10-album deal, if you got a good 10-album deal, you have a good entertainment lawyer that works that contract out. That how it works. Every album, every next album, you could say, hey, this is my advance. $3 million was the advance. Do you guys know every time you drop a new project, you're supposed to get an advance? You get caught up in a contract that here's $3 million for the 10 albums. You get no more money. That's your all budget until we recoup the money that advance we just gave you. The advance, like everybody said, the advance is the loan. It's a bank loan. Fuck all that dumbass, fake ass Instagram Google motherfuckers talking. Fuck them. They don't know what they talking about. If you have a good entertainment lawyer, he can work it out when you don't have to pay back that advance. It's all goes by your lawyer, who representing you in your fucking career. He or she, the attorney, entertainment lawyer, could work out each year that most albums, when you sign an album deal, they want you to do an album once a year. Back in them days, they would not allow you to go past a year, or they won't allow you to put out something before that year's up. We talking about back in the 80s. Now you can fucking drop 8 albums a fucking week if you want to. The major labels back in that time would not allow you to do that. You couldn't do that. You couldn't do it. They wouldn't allow you to do it. So I'm gonna be honest with you. In a year, 2026, you can do what you want to do. Let's get back to, let me move this around. Let's get back to her deal, because I got the paperwork here. So I'm gonna tell you how good this deal was. So she signed, got the $3 million for the 10-album deal. Let me tell you how good this deal, how good of a lawyer she had. I'm gonna get into it. Each year that her contract, her album, a new album had to be released by the group. Each year they had a different number. Now they didn't send me the numbers. So I ain't gonna sit here and make up numbers. But what was told to me in my PR, if she got $3 million for the first album, it's double that. If they recruit the money they spend in videos, travel, tour expenses, if they made enough to cover the money that the record label put in, then that automatically doubles the next project that come out. I will tell you, is the band SHAH-day made enough to pay their debt. Soon as you sign that contract, soon as you get the advance, your ass automatically owe the record label. We all should know that now. In case you new to this shit, you don't know that. You automatically owe the record label. But if you could prove you could sell records and you could sell out arenas, you could sell tours, you could sell tickets, you could sell merch. And back in them days, merch, t-shirts, posters was selling for $25 fucking. I see motherfuckers now handing out posters, handing out CDs. Motherfuckers wasn't handing out cassette tapes or vinyl and posters. No, that was merch. You didn't see nobody handing out no goddamn none of the merch back in them days. You had to go to Walmart, Sam Goody, Tower Records and buy that shit. No one was handing out their merch. You was a fool back in the 80s and 90s or the 70s handing out shit that cost $20. I brought a SHAH-day poster that cost me $30 back in the 80s. I remember. Because I was young. I said, she's one fine. I said some other words, but I always had a crush on SHAH-day back in the day. I was like, damn, she fine. And I was young. And I said she was fine. And she fine now, shit. She don't know to be my big sister. Probably my mama. I don't know. She up there in age now. She's almost 70. I think 70 or something like that. I'm 50. I'm 51. Yeah, she could be my mama. But anyway, she still looked fine. I don't give a fuck, mama or not. She ain't my mama, but she looked fine. She was a sexy mama. But make a long story short, every album that she put out, they had an advance. And for my checking, year 2026, she's still on the road, y'all. Too. She. I'm gonna get into that at the end. So they don't owe no label, nothing. We're a part of this interview, this part of the show broadcast. They don't owe anybody anything. How many artists, how many groups, how many bands you know that were signed to 3 different majors? Now let me get back into this. She was signed to Epic Records, then went to RCA, then at the end of the band career, they went to Sony. I noticed they never went to Arista. Damn. I guess she said, I gotta stop pausing. I forgot I'm on Apple Music and iHeartMedia and everybody else. Why wouldn't she do the deal with Clive Davis? Once this, how the labels did back in the day, they sold your contract to another label. Or the labels merged together. All right. So you have an instance when you have a label merged to the other, or they sold it, or they trade you off, or some shit fell off, or crazy shit that's still going today. But back then, so I don't know. I got the information, but that's gonna be for part 2 of the Untold Stories of SHAH-day. So I only could give y'all a little bit what I could give y'all. So I do on part 2 of this, and come out in a couple months, we will provide y'all what label, what made her go to, what made the group. Because I'm not gonna disrespect the other members of this beautiful legendary group, SHAH-day. Keep in mind, SHAH-day is the lead head vocal singer, the head of the group, lead singer. The rest of the band was the collective to make the beautiful classic legendary songs that this group made. So I'm not going to just say it was just one person that did it. It was a collective of the whole band that did the whole group, SHAH-day. So we're not going to ever disrespect a person. That's like somebody saying, if I had a group and they only, I'm the lead person of the group, they just say my name. No, say I'm the lead face and name of the group. And back then you can say like the group Shalimar. It's so many names and people in Shalimar. So, or the Jacksons or Temptations. And I liked how they did with SHAH-day. If we out here playing the instruments and shit, you go ahead and lead it with your pretty ass. Looking like you're white, but you're South African. Pretty. She's so sexy. All right, so we're going to get into this part of the interview. I'm going to let that go. So we're going to get into this part of the interview. And shout out to everybody that's checking in. Appreciate y'all. And we're going to go to this part of the interview. If you are a SHAH-day fan, after we done today, And I'm gonna apologize to everybody that came to YouTube at 8 o'clock and we was not on due to technical difficulties. And a lot of my people that was here probably left. And shout out to my industry people that came. So one thing I will tell everybody, you have to be on time when you have industry guests, because if they don't see you on, they know you're gonna come on, they're just gonna consider you late. They don't give a fuck if it's a fire. When you're dealing with multimillionaires, they don't give a fuck if it's a fire. If you're not on time, because I got a couple of text messages saying they had meetings. It's a Saturday, motherfuckers got shit to do. I get it, but I want to thank everybody that came to show me love and respect. I did get all your text messages, and I appreciate you. And shout out to my guy from Epic Records that came here at 7:50, and he stayed to 8:10, but he had to go to another meeting. I appreciate you, and I shout out to all the team at Epic Records for supporting the CX1 DJs. We Do Things Different podcast. I appreciate all you guys, and I appreciate everybody from the Epic Records team that subscribed to the YouTube. God damn it, the YouTube channel. I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me. I've been busting my butt trying to get this channel, this new channel. CX1 DJ has been around over 25 years, but this is our new podcast YouTube channel. And I want to thank everybody that subscribed to this channel, all my supporters, and I want to thank all my haters as well. What I'm going to do, I'm not going to really dwell on the haters. I'm just going to kill them with my success and continue to do what I do. And I will say this, if you hating on Punkin Put the Painting Girl, you're going to be more mad because she got a bag behind her and she got guard, and she also got a hardworking manager like myself and the team that really care about her. So anybody that hating on Punkin Put the Painting Girl, the CX1 DJ official artist, please don't do that, because the ones that you hate on, I promise you, them the ones that's going to come up. Now back to what I was saying. So SHAH-day I want everybody to go make sure you go stream her music. And she got over 10 albums, over 50 singles. Once y'all go stream that and support a real artist. SHAH-day, the group, is a real artist of work, body of a work. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play this right here, and we don't care nothing about. Shout out to YouTube. I'm gonna tell y'all something. YouTube been good to me. So everybody in the YouTube staff, because they do watch my videos, they watch all the videos, they watch, I get the emails from YouTube. I want to say thank you, YouTube, for all the support and believe in the new channel, because we are new. YouTube knowing that we are not new to the game, but we new to the YouTube world, and we're learning our way here. So I'm gonna shout out to YouTube anytime we played copyright music. They gave us a warning. They pretty much gave us the heads up before we got a copyright strike, and I spoke to other people, they did not get that. And shout out to the record labels that cleared the music on some other videos that we did. But unfortunately, you have 6 different places that you have to get cleared. And if all parties don't work together, you will get a flag. And you might have had it clear from the artist, manager, record company, but if they always use outside distributors and license companies, so it's hard to hell to get a lot of that stuff cleared time for your production. But I do want to thank YouTube for working with us